what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds. I'm a property investor, and in this video, I'm going to be giving you the top 7 things that you should avoid doing to your house if you're looking to increase the value to sell the property. Now, these 7 things are things that people do to their house to try and push the value up. They spend money on a renovation to try and increase the value, but in fact, it actually decreases the value.
No, God!
How disappointing would that be? Imagine if you did a renovation on a house or you spent money on your property and it actually made the property shrink in value. It would be dreadfully, painfully annoying, which is why I'm going to list the 7 things in this video to avoid you losing money. However, before I go through those 7 things, please do me a massive, massive favor and smash the like button. I want to see the blue thumb pointing up. That really helps me out. And I'm going to start with number 7, which is the least detrimental. And then I'm going to end up going right through to number 1. And if you do number 1, oh my goodness, you really need to stick around to the end because they're going to get worse and worse and worse as we go through them. So number 7 is to add a water feature or a swimming pool to your garden. Now you might think if you add a nice water feature, a pond, or even a swimming pool to swim in, you might think that's going to push the value up, but it actually costs a lot of money, and in many cases it will bring the value of your house down. Now the reason it brings the value of the house down is because people don't want to have to maintain it. And let's face it, if you don't like swimming, if you don't want a swimming pool outside in your garden, it doesn't add any value, but you're going to have to maintain it, you're going to have to clean it, so it just becomes a pain. Also, if you've got small kids, you might fear the kids falling in it. So there's many reasons as to why it will put some buyers off, and it has been proven in surveys and statistics that this can actually have a negative impact on the valuation of your house. So that's number 7. We're going to get a little bit worse and a little bit worse. Number 6 is a garage conversion. Now, garage conversions can be quite expensive, and if you're living in a property, you might think, who needs a garage conversion? It's a waste of space. Maybe you don't even have a car, and you turn it into a games room or an extra sitting room, and you think because you've got an extra nice room and you've insulated it and you've spent money on it, that's going to increase the value of the house. Wrong. That's actually most likely going to push the value down on your property, and the reason is because a lot of people that are looking to buy a house, they've got a checklist, and they're like, right, and on their checklist often is a garage. So if you get rid of one of the things that many people are looking for, you're going to decrease the chances of selling your property quickly and probably push down the value of the property, which again would be really annoying because it costs a lot of money to do that kind of renovation. So to spend money and then to not make any back and actually push the value down, terribly, terribly annoying. Number 5, and these are getting worse and worse, is wallpaper. Wallpaper is a very damaging thing you can do to a house. If you've got a property and it's currently painted, maybe you don't like the paint, please don't put wallpaper on it. I would never do this, and probably most people wouldn't, but the problem with wallpaper is, number 1, it kind of looks a little bit old-fashioned and often a bit tacky, but that's not the main problem. The main problem is that wallpaper is often used as a cover-up thing. So when people see there's a wallpapered room, in their minds they think underneath the wallpaper there's probably broken plaster, it's going to need replastering, there's going to be cracks. So they, when they're looking around the property, will start calculating that into the cost of their refurb, and it might be that there's no cracks. You just happen to like wallpaper and you invested money and invested time wallpapering the room and actually brought the value of the house considerably down. Don't do it, folks. Number 4 is turning your property into an open plan property. Now what that means is, let's say that at the moment you've got 2 reception rooms, you've got a lounge and a dining room, and they're medium sized, and you might think, you know what, let's knock down the stud wall and open it all up and have this a nice, spacious, open plan property. Now, you might personally like that, so you might invest the time and money to make it open plan, but many people don't like open plan. And it's not that they don't like open plan, it's that you're turning 2 rooms into 1 room. So that's a problem because a lot of people like extra rooms. Maybe they've got kids and they think that could be the playroom, that could be the adult room. Suddenly you've turned it into this nice open plan area, but now the house isn't suitable for many families. And then what have you done? You've brought down the value of the house. Number 3, these are getting worse and worse. By the way, if you're enjoying the video, please, again, don't forget to smash the like button. Drop your comments as well below. Let me know what you're thinking of the video. And don't forget to subscribe. Number 3, this one's terrible. Honestly, these are getting really bad now. I've been an estate agent. I used to be an estate agent. I've been in property as well as an investor for over a decade. And whenever I see this, I'm always like, why? Why would you do this? And that's when people turn 2 bedrooms into 1 bedroom. They merge bedrooms. This is absolutely devastating to the value of your house. Another thing that's similar, which is also just ludicrous, is when people turn a small bedroom into a bathroom. It's just crazy. And then you end up with this ugly, enormous, oversized bathroom, and you've gone from 3-bedroomed house into a 2-bedroom house. And suddenly that's gonna bring the value right down, because a lot of people want a 3rd bedroom. Even if the bedroom's small, don't just think, oh, well, let's just turn it into a bathroom. Or let's just knock down the wall and make the 2nd room a slightly bigger 2nd room. That is a ridiculous thing to do if you're planning on selling the property, and it is gonna bring the value of the house down. Number 2, we're getting bad now. Now, I don't know why this one is so bad, because these aren't just my opinion. These are things that statistically do bring the value down according to surveys and estate agents. But this one's really bad. And when I told my wife this, she was like, I actually quite like this. But many people don't. And that is artificial grass in the garden. People hate artificial grass. Now, they might like it if they're coming around your house as a visitor, but people, for whatever reason, do not want to buy houses where the garden is artificial grass. Maybe they just freak out and think there'll never be any grass, or I don't know what it is, but do not put artificial grass like AstroTurf in your garden. It's going to cost you money, but it's going to bring the value right down, and it's going to put off buyers. Here we go now, folks. Number 1. Now, this one, I've never come across anybody do this deliberately. I really can't even quite believe anyone's done this, but apparently this has happened. And that is, people have put Japanese knotweed in their garden as a garden plant. I mean, I'm really still not convinced that this has ever actually happened for real, unless we're going to go back to Victorian times in the 19th century, when they brought Japanese knotweed in from Japan as a plant, and no one knew how terrible it was. But Japanese knotweed is a plant that grows through concrete. It will ruin the structure of buildings. It is so unwanted that even if you take it to a junkyard or a skip, they will refuse to have it. It is illegal to not treat it. You can be fined up to £5,000, and if you put Japanese knotweed in someone's garden as a prank, don't do that, because you can even go to prison. That's how bad it is. So I'm sure you kind of wouldn't do this anyway, and I'm sure you weren't planning on putting Japanese knotweed in your garden. But if your house does have Japanese knotweed, it can bring the value down so badly that the property is unmortgageable. And if a lender goes out to value the house, they can even value your property at 0.
Say what?
So you do not want Japanese knotweed, and that's why I saved it until the absolute number 1 devastating thing that you can do to your house to bring the value down. Folks, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you found it useful. Again, drop your comments in, subscribe, smash the like button. If you want to learn more about property and you want to get top property investing tips, you might enjoy this video right here. If you want to see some of my students that have succeeded in property as a result of my training, you can hear their stories right here. And please don't forget to subscribe down here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.